this is, I think, the takeaway I have for Marcus Freeman the past 2 weeks. He is an expert at exploiting your weakness. He is so good at it, at anticipating you being over aggressive or you not being smart. And I think that's his superpower as a coach. Like, I really think that's a superpower, but I think it then magnifies the weakness of James Franklin. And I'll be honest, as a Buckeye, if Ohio State would advance, that would be my concern for Ryan Day as well, because I
Do
think
you
Ryan
think
Day at
Marcus
times.
Freeman? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Do you think Marcus Freeman is the best coach out of these four that were left? Obviously, James Franklin no longer left, but let's just rewind a half hour. Of these four coaches left, do you think Marcus Freeman is the best coach? Because of
I
that ability to outcoach and magnify weaknesses of the other coach and take advantage of their deficiencies, do you think that makes him? Obviously, there's so much more into coaching, recruiting, talent, develop all those other things. But at least let's talk about in-game coaching. In-game coaching. Do you think Marcus Freeman is the best in-game coach of the four that were left in the playoffs?
I think this season he showcased it,
Yeah.
and people will bring up, well, he only had 10 men on the field against Ohio State, and he only, he lost to NIU. Yes, but remember, this is his third year as a head coach. And I think the thing that has set him apart from a lot of other head coaches, he learns very quickly from his mistakes. And I think that's something I really appreciate. He has a lot of humility. He's really built a healthy culture. And then in game, I think he's made a lot of smart decisions. I think we said this the last time, but he's very Tressel-esque in his approach. And so he lets you make mistakes and then he capitalizes on them. And so, yeah, I think in terms of in-game ability right now, he is the best coach. And that includes Sark and Day in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I see all you guys' comments. We'll get to comments in just a second. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate all of you being here. Definitely want to get to those. I just really want to finish this Marcus Freeman conversation really quick, and then we'll get into what you guys are saying. I totally agree. I think Marcus Freeman is basically what Jim Tressel was, but he still has a hint of aggression to him. Because
Mm-hmm.
you saw what should have been the last drive before the drive where Drew Aller threw the interception. They were dropping back to pass. I felt like in that one, they should have been running the ball. They had 3 timeouts. They had 2.5
Mm-hmm.
minutes left. And instead, Riley Leonard gets sacked twice. Now, thankfully, the hands of the face, got rid of one of those. But Riley Leonard gets sacked twice there. And you see a situation where Notre Dame can't move the ball even 10 more yards. But then they come back the second time around, and Marcus Freeman says, I'm not making this mistake again. We got 30 seconds left. I got 3 timeouts. We're running this ball.
Yep.
And we're going to run it straight through Penn State. We're going to run it straight up the middle. And we're not going to let Abdul Carter and Dennis Sutton try to get to Riley Leonard. So they run the ball, one time with Jeremiah Love, and I think 3 times with Riley Leonard. I think that speaks to what you're talking about with him learning from his mistakes. He saw in that moment, I got a second chance here. Penn State gifted it to me, and I'm not going to lose it this time. I'm going to get in field goal range. I'm going to do what this offense does best. And if my offense coordinator wants to throw the ball, screw him. Tell him to run the ball. Sometimes as a head coach, you got to say, screw you, buddy. Run the ball.
It's like
I don't think that's exactly what Marcus Freeman said, but in my mind, that's what he said.
It's like you've been in a couple huddles before, I think.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Any comment on that, Zach, before we get to other people's comments?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. Okay. He is. Yeah, I think we're in agreement. I think he is the best. I think he's the best coach, and I thought he outcoached it, especially in that last minute. He did a great job.
Which was the most important time to outcoach James Franklin. 3 decisions that Marcus Freeman made in this game to win them the game. Now, some of these are not like super big coaching decisions. They're more so kind of like vibe and feel, but I think that's a huge part of coaching, especially in these big games. You have to kind of have that vibe and that feel, and you have to be able to trust your players. So number 1, Marcus Freeman trusted his defense out there on the field in that game-winning drive. That Penn State could have had a game-winning drive. And Marcus Freeman trusted his defense. Not only did he trust his defense, but he trusted his defense to play defense straight up. It would have been really easy to go into that final drive and say, okay, let's just play prevent defense. It'll take them a little while to get to the 50. And then at the end, when they get to the 50, like, maybe when they get to the 50, they stall out and they can't get a field goal or something like that. Marcus Freeman didn't do that. You could tell, like, they were playing man on those guys. And they were sticking with them. And if they were going to get beat over the top, they were going to get beat over the top, which has happened in that game multiple times. I mean, Penn State had a number of big plays in that game. If you describe big plays as pass plays of 15 yards or more and run plays of 10 yards or more, Penn State had 6 run plays of 10 yards or more and 4 pass plays of 15 yards or more in this game. And so for Marcus Freeman to have the guts to say, we're going to play you straight up, we're not going to play prevent defense on you, is just, I mean, that's just absolutely huge. Obviously it could go the other way, and you could say it was a terrible decision if they got a big play on him, but he trusted his pass rush, he trusted his guys, and then there at the end, he trusted his kicker. Despite the odds, right? They talked about it a bunch of the broadcasts. This was one of the worst, if not the worst, field goal kicking teams in the country in the regular season. Jeter comes into the postseason, kicks way better. Kickers in the college football playoffs this year were 0 for 4 in game-winning field goals. 0 for 4 in game-winning field goals. That's crazy. They're 1 for 5 now because Jeter hit that field goal that Penn State almost blocked, by the way. Could you imagine if they got that block? That'd have been crazy. Do you think there was any other coaching decisions or anything Marcus Freeman made that won them the game?
I think a big one is the fact that Marcus Freeman trusted his backup quarterback at the end of the first half. I think they let him throw. They let him drive the ball down the field and get a field goal. And that gave them a ton of momentum going into the second half. You talked about winning the middle 8. No one's going to remember. I don't remember the backup quarterback's name, but he played a pivotal role in getting the momentum into the half and cutting that lead to a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, he played a huge role in that, and it was decision making by the coach to get that to happen. So, I mean, as far as I look at it, like, there were just so many things that Marcus Freeman did in the fourth quarter, decisions that he made, and he was forced to make the decision, right? Like, there's no way that he goes for it on, what was that, 4th and 9 after that sack. Like, there's no way he goes for that in that situation. So I get it, but still, like, I don't know. You could have done something else, but he didn't do it. He trusted his defense, and I think Marcus Freeman deserves a lot of credit because this team dealt with a good amount of deficiencies in the game. The pass rush of Penn State was eating the Notre Dame offensive line alive the entire game. Riley Leonard was struggling to throw the ball, and also the aggression to go with Steve Angeli. It was Caesar Tweezer is bringing it up here, the backup quarterback for Notre Dame. They're at the first half. Zach, I don't know if they win this game if that backup quarterback didn't set them up like he did there at the end of the first half, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, Marcus Freeman trusted him with the ball to drive them down the field at the end of the first half. I thought that was huge.
And I think that really means something for you to trust your players. Not just the players that have been performing for you all season long, but to trust every guy on your team. To trust Jeter after the regular season that he had. To trust the backup quarterback coming in at the end of the first half there to say, dude, we need at least a field goal. Go out there and throw. To trust your defense. Play defense straight up on Penn State. I don't have enough nice things to say about Marcus Freeman in this game.